Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Welcome, dear friends, to Kardec Radio. My name is Greg, and the name of my show is Spiritism, Healing, and Meditation. Thank you for joining me. This is show number 23. Kardec Radio is nourishing your soul 24 hours a day with over 4,000 podcasts on Facebook, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. Download it and take the shows on the go on your portable device. Kardec Radio is 100% volunteer based, and we do rely on donations. If you can, we would appreciate it. Thank you. You can go to kardecradio.com and you can send in questions, and we'll be glad to answer them for you. So before we start, we'd like to start with an opening prayer to our Creator. Dear Heavenly Mother, Father God, Master Jesus, Mother Mary, good spirits of Kardec Radio, we are here once again to receive your blessings, to receive the enlightened words of the spirits through the various mediums and the spirits behind those mediums. We ask you to inspire us, to guide us through this talk, inspire the speaker as well as the listener, and help us grow towards perfection and help our hearts open up in love, forgiveness, and kindness to all our brothers on the world. Thank you. So be it. So today we have a couple of things to read to you. I'm going to be reading from the Spiritism magazine again, a wonderful publication that has just so much variety of articles and snippets from different pieces of literature written by the good spirits through the good mediums. Some things that are not available in books or haven't been published yet. So we're going to be reading from the Spiritism magazine number 11. And the first piece that we're going to read is by the Spirit Emmanuel through our beloved Chico Xavier. And it's called So. Each heart is like a parcel of spiritual land. Many will be buried by the stones of prejudice at the side of others who get entangled by the thorns of illusion, needing enormous time to break free. However, think about the good land not in use. This is where elements that generate inertia are found: abandoned lands, orphaned lands, creatures who are anxious for the fertilizer of faith, souls who beg for a modest garden of hope and comfort. These troubled, forgotten lands will often look for you. Your vision will open up through the fatigue of the parents where pain manifests, tortures, and consumes, through the disillusionment of your sad fellows who carry in their hearts the ashes of their own dreams, through the problems of the child who is consumed by the revolt, through the trials of your brothers and sisters who cry smiling so that you may not see the debris of their resentment. If you can already hear the sublime sower proclaiming, so, you know that charity is the sun that sweeps the shadows. You bring within you the gift to sprinkle comfort. You can produce the blessed word. You can pour what is left from the purses, transforming the coin into a prayer of joy. You have a strong arm which lifts up the fallen. Your fingers are capable of mending the strings, broken by suffering in others' hearts, attuning them to the sound of the fraternal music. You have the privilege of sharing clothes you no longer need with those less fortunate. Nothing hinders you from helping the sick. Nobody prevents you from building on the road the good for those who are here and for those who are to come. Do not deter yourself in the emptiness of the shadows. Plant truth and light, joy and goodness. If you perceive the voice of the sublime sower, you will hear him at each step of the way, confidently saying, closer to your ears, work while you can, and so, and so. By the Spirit Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. We thank you. This is a beautiful piece, and I would like to reflect on it for just a moment, because we are talking about action. The action of compassion, the action of love, the verb of love. As St. Paul has said, love is patient, love is kind, love alone triumphs. And of the greatest of these is charity, he says at the end of his poem. Some translations say love is the greatest, but it is in the translation, I believe that the love that he is referring to is the love of action, which is disinterested help, to have nothing you are looking for except just to help because it is the right thing to do. It is the kind thing to do. It is the divine thing to do. And this so and so is asking us to put it in the Eastern perspective, because this show, we show the East and the West from the Vedas in India and the Spiritist Christian karma. We know the word karma in Spiritism, action. It's neither good nor bad. It is just action. To put out, and it will return, because the universe is such that is like a pond, a completely still pond, and we throw a pebble into it, and then the waves start moving out and they come back to us. If we don't throw anything in, there'll be no ripples. Nothing will come back to us. So it is the law that whatever we put out there, it will come back to us. Positive, negative, it will come back. And as Vanessa Anzalone often points out in her lectures, there is either plus or minus, there is no neutral. Because in the neutral, doing nothing is stopping the good from being done. So we have either plus or minus. We can't glide through life without nothing, with doing nothing. So in terms of the karma, it is said, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And certainly what you want done unto you is good and kindness. So it is asking you to put out good so that good comes back to you. It is saying this is the way good things will come back to you, because we put out the good. And the other expression is forgive and be forgiven. It's almost like, well, I'm not going to forgive her until she forgives me. It's like we're waiting, but really it's on a much more profound level than that. It's not a cosmic thing like, well, the cosmos is waiting for you to forgive before it forgives you because it's some sort of little trick. It really is very profound in the sense to forgive and to be forgiven. Once we start forgiving, then the action of forgiving starts returning to us to be forgiven. It's like the pond. We throw a pebble in that's forgiving, and then those ripples come back to us as waves of forgiveness. It's a simple, somebody once called it a yes universe. Whatever we do will return to us. Some karma comes back quickly, some takes a while. And that's just the way it is. It's unfathomable, the course of karma, because our actions, our thoughts, our feelings, they may radiate from this antenna of our brain and go out, and they don't stop after 100 feet. It continues. It will reach various places. The tree first, the moon, Jupiter, Pluto, Alpha Centauri. It just keeps going. It's eternal. We are all connected. So forgive and be forgiven, and sow and reap the benefits of that sowing. The next piece I would like to read is from the medium, Divaldo Franco. I need to pause that to find it. So the name of the article is called Praising Brother Sun by the Spirit, Joanna De Angelis and Divaldo Franco. When you came to earth, the medieval night spread terror, holding ignorance in the hearts of those full of themselves, to crush both peasants and poor city dwellers. There was a superstition and fear everywhere, leading humanity under the stigma of sin and vices, which were severely punished. You came and taught the truth, which has enlightened humanity ever since. There was perversity with no disguise and all types of discrimination, leading man to become the wolf of mankind itself, and therefore despicable. You sang the anthem of praise to all creatures in your divine simplicity, sweetly calling them brothers and sisters. Hate remained epidemic, which spread the pestilence, moldy whiff of endless wars, leaving fields full of corpses rotting under the open sky. Your serene and tender voice echoed the song of peace, and you became the symbol of true fraternity, which one day will embrace all earth. Epidemics decimated human beings, turning them into miserable slaves whose endless suffering of tragic fate, pompous religious faith was supported by powerful people helping them to persecute and mislead the weak. But you had the courage to dispose of your father's skills and brocades, bearing yourself to be born again, dedicating your life from them on to the lepers of Rivotorto. At the beginning of your ministry, when the first servants of God's love approached you, scratched out a cross in the dirt and sent them to the 4 cardinal points of the world. Thus everyone could know the Son of first magnitude. While he had sent 2 by 2, you had the courage to send them by themselves, because you knew he would be inseparable companions of those blessed heroes of love at every moment of their journey. In times when religious faith inspired terror, those who considered themselves representatives of God became more and more distant from the sheep they were to herd. You took on the coat of a meek sheep and brought them together, those wayward sheep, to start a new flock. While you were among us, and even a little beyond that time, no one could resist your presence, your voice, your vibration of ineffable love, not even the fierce wolves of Gubbio or the chirping swallows which disturbed your song of love, but fell silent as you sang to the attentive ears of those suffering at the altar of nature. During the hot summer, when your eyes were burning from the hot iron, and you were in the field, you realized from the buzzing of the bees that they needed pollen and flowers to make honey. Without any hesitation, you asked your sister Clara to provide food from the monastery for those little working sisters. Who dared to behave as he did, you who loved him so much, so as to imitate him in every situation after being called by him to rebuild his moral church which had been destroyed? O singing brother of those who are desperate and forgotten, the modern world needs you urgently, rich as it is in fleeting glories, but poor in feelings, proud of its quick conquests, but unaware of the immense calamity lived by those who are hungry and excluded from society, living a night of invincible terror and uncertainty. There has never been so much need of love as now. Therefore, your singing will decrease anguish, which has become pathetic distress on the suffering earth. There are, without a doubt, achievements that come from silence and technology. However, loneliness, anxiety, fear, and uncertainty, all of them, children of senseless materialism, cultivate an empty existence, serve psychological disorders, psychosomatic diseases, addiction to drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and uncontrolled use of sex, leading its victims to escape to an unjustifiable suicide. Come back, Brother Francisco, to reunite your creatures once again, all of them around, as in the past, leading them to Jesus. Once again, call your brothers Leo, Rufino, and Angelo, among with others who built the world with you, which have listened to you for over 800 years, but who have not the courage to follow your steps. How many abandoned you after your return to God's home? We still hear the quiet desertion among the turbulent attractions from where they had come and to which they avidly returned. They are again on earth, confused, lonely, waiting to hear your voice, which they know so well and cannot forget it. You, dearly Assisi, today has grown beyond the walls in which it lays, and in agony society desires to become citizens of it. There's music in the air, silence in the hearts, and tears in the eyes of almost all creatures in these days of apprehension and uncertainty. Therefore, there is great expectation surrounding the wait. Come back, please, happy brother, so the lack of love can take flight, and a spring of blessings can take over everything. The blue sky, which sheltered you, and the green fields perfumed in lavender, that your wounded feet trod, continue waiting for you. There are multitudes of people who come to praise, all noisy and festive, but indifferent to your call, without following you. Sing again your simple prayer, and one with which you offered us in the unforgettable days. And whenever there is despair, let manifest peace and hope emerge, and in face of an imminent death, may the individual rejoice from the certainty of resurrection, because it is by dying that we can live forever. Brother, son, the great moral night of today awaits you anxiously. Thank you, Brother Francisco Assisi. Thank you, dear Spirit, for inspiring us. Thank you, Divaldo, for writing this beautiful piece. Thank you, Joanna De Angelis, for receiving this message from our brother. So this ends the reading section of this show number 23. We'd like to invite you on to the second part, which is the meditation and healing part. And we thank you for joining us. And we thank the good spirits for blessing us with these two beautiful readings. And we feel so blessed to hear them. And we feel so humble at how much is left to hear and how much is left for us to grow. But we know every day we gain a little bit more as we sow and sow. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Purifying the heart and mind before a healing prayer, as described by the Spirit Father Eustachio, who was a healing medium when alive on earth. This through the hands of psychography of Chico Xavier. Repeat after me, silently or out loud. Visualize the person or people who have hurt you. Look into their eyes and say to them, I forgive you. Thank you. I love you. See yourself hugging them. Visualize the people you have hurt. Look into their eyes and say, I am sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Visualize yourself hugging them. Now visualize yourself as a small child. Look directly into your eyes and say, I forgive you. I love you. Thank you, dear soul. God loves you greatly, more than you are capable of knowing. The healing prayer. Repeat after me, silently or out loud. Dear God, please use me as an instrument of healing to cure this infirmity. I have faith in you and know that all things are possible with you. Please free me from all thought of pride and selfishness, which may alter their purity. I humbly beseech you to permit your good spirits to concentrate their beneficial fluids in me so that I may bring about health. Let us visualize a shower of God's healing light being poured over the diseased or damaged area. Sustain this image of light, healing, soothing the damaged or diseased part. This light of God coming through Jesus and the good spirits restores balance and reinvigorates health. See this light not only healing the physical vessel, but the paraspiritual body. See the cells coming alive with new joyous energy, happy to be part of God's plan and carry out this holy work. See this loving light of God pour over our entire spark of God we call the soul. See each cell be enlivened in vigor and health. May this heavenly divine light elevate us to learn from this mistake that caused the disease. May it infuse wisdom and discernment so that future thoughts and actions do not cause harm to myself or any other dear soul. See us healthy, happy, vibrant, glowing in divine light, a heart full of love and acceptance of all. Thank you, Holy God. Thank you, Blessed Jesus. And thank you, good spirits that are sent by God for this healing. Thank you for this healing. Thank you. Thank you.
Benedictus